Saturday morning walk. Blue sky. I'm back from my walk and I decided to have a smoothie, so I thought I would show you the typical ingredients I like to use. I'm for sure a peanut butter chocolate banana person. So I have hemp hearts, soy milk unsweetened, PB2, and like the peanut butter powder. Sometimes I'll use peanut butter depending on my, or like, creamy peanut butter and depending on my mood. Oats, I put like a spoonful in there to give it like a, if I'm having it for breakfast, I like to, I don't know why I'm showing you this because it's like I have the lid on. But yeah, anyway. So you have cinnamon, chocolate powder, frozen bananas, always frozen bananas. I cannot stand using just the ripe counter bananas because it gives it, the smoothie, like it's too much of a, I don't know, weird banana taste to me. And the texture, like it's cooked in my mouth, but frozen bananas never do that, so I always go with that. Then I have frozen blueberries, and then I add a couple cubes of ice. But this one, unfortunately, I went a little bit too happy with the ice, and it's kind of chunky, not chunky, but more icy than I would like. But yeah, learn from mistakes. It's around 12 o'clock, and I am sitting outside enjoying this really nice weather. It's going to be 87 degrees today, but right now in the shade, I think it's 70 or so, so it's absolutely perfect to do some reading. And along with reading a book, I am drinking out of this really cute cup. It's kind of hard to see with this lighting, but I got it from the Dollar General store for I think $3, and it's just so cute. It has this little wooden lid, and yeah, so I wanted to share that because it's like the epitome of summer. I'm always drinking water all throughout the day. But the book I just finished is Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? The Great Depression, 1929 to 1933 by Milton Meltzer. This book was published in 1969. And I thought about that because the last chapter was talking about what was going on during the 1960s, and it was giving like statistics on the poverty levels, like unemployment and wage disparity, comparing it to the 1930s. And this book was really interesting. It has, let's see if I can find some pictures here real quick, but it was full of pictures, cartoons. Let's see, what does this say? Unable to pay the rent, the jobless were often evicted with their belongings tossed out on the street. This is in Chicago. So there's like a woman sitting here with all of her possessions on the street. But there was plenty of, I'm going to find one more to show you. This is a family. It says that they were living in a one-room hut atop a Ford chassis on Highway 70 in Tennessee. So yeah, I mean, just like gives you, pictures of families, and it also includes interviews, songs, and poetry, like songwriters, all sorts of things. So it was for being around 170 pages. It included quite a bit, and it's like the perfect little mini history of the Great Depression. So it's now after lunch, and I thought I would take just a quick drive around to a couple free libraries. And there's Fable. She's all ready to go. She loves a good car ride, huh, Fables? Oh yeah. I go to a couple free libraries, and so I thought I'd show you real quick. In addition to my gigantic triple stacked book pile of books I'm going to sell, this, in addition to all that, is books that I don't think bookstores would take for money, and so I just keep an ongoing stack for little free libraries. So I'm just going to take like 10 or so and then show you some free libraries. It's now 3 o'clock, and I've just gotten back from driving around to a couple little free libraries, so I thought I would share them with you along with showing my face because I don't think I've been on camera yet today. I got a couple books, and the first couple are children's books. I have Sammy Keys and the Hotel Thief by Wendelin Van Dranen. And this is about, let's see, Sammy, she sees someone who's like rifling through someone's purse and calls the police, and the police are looking at her like, you silly kid. But maybe the grandma believes her. So yeah, we'll see. This reminds me, like, I can't remember, is it Disturbia? Is that the name of the movie? Or like, Rear Window, what? Yeah, where you're seeing something far and like, is that what's happening? Or was it just in your head? Yeah, so there's that one. And then I have another, like, mystery kind of book. This is Margaret Peterson Haddix, and the book is Among the Hidden. And the spooky cover is what got me. I was like, this would be perfect for October. And this is Shadow Children. And the little blurb says, Luke has never been to school. He's never had a birthday party or gone to a friend's house for an overnight. In fact, Luke has never had a friend. He's one of the Shadow Children, a third child forbidden by the population police. Okay, so maybe like a dystopian kind of story. Let's see, I have one other children's book. This is Stella by Starlight by Sharon M. Draper, and the cover is what drew me in. And this is about Stella. She's living in the segregated South in Bumblebee, North Carolina. I want to live in Bumblebee, North Carolina. And let's see, she's the Ku Klux Klan, and I thought that because the cover here has the burning cross, so they're gonna witness something with that. Okay, and then I have like a YA middle grade book. Joan Bauer wrote Close to Famous. What caught my eye about this book is I read another book by Joan Bauer that I actually got from a little free library like a year ago, and that was Hope Was Here. And I already read that one. That was about a daughter and a mother who are traveling around, and they have been to many different towns because they're kind of poor, and the mother keeps losing her, I think it was like a waitressing job or a chef job. So she's just trying to find like a home base. And so they move from like the East Coast, like Kentucky, I think, to like the Midwest somewhere, and try to settle down, and you learn about the community, that kind of thing. So I think this might be set in the same area, because it says when you've been chased out of Memphis by a scary Elvis impersonator and end up in the tiny town of Culpeper, where nothing much seems to happen, it's hard to hold on to a big dream. And then this is Foster's dream is to have their own TV cooking show. So yeah, it's like kind of like a loose sequel to Hope Was Here. And then the last book I got was, it seemed really interesting, and I don't have any books, I don't think, on this topic, but this is Tales of the West of Ireland by James Barrie. And I've always interested in like Ireland, Scotland, anywhere in Europe really, but I don't have many books about Ireland, like maybe one other. So yeah, this sounded interesting. And I think, is it short stories that's in here? Yes, it's Tales of Mayo and Tales of Connemara. Okay, yeah. So it's and see, Gertrude Horgan spent time in Ireland from 1964 to 1965, and she discovered the tales, which James Barrie had contributed to a local paper. Okay, so maybe it's just a local tales. It says the material of his tales comes from the people of Mayo and Galway, and introduces the smugglers, the packmen, and the rapparees of the West. Okay, and it says mainly told to him by word of mouth. Okay, so yeah. So I'm not familiar with it all, but it sounds really intriguing. Okay, so now that I've gotten back from my little free library perusal, I'm going to now start S.E. Hinton. She wrote The Outsiders, which I read a couple of days ago. And I have the sequel here, and it's called That Was Then, This Is Now. It has a stupid sticker on it, and it's like an older book, and so the sticker is like worn onto it. So I think if I take it off, it's just gonna rip the page, rip the cover off right with it. So yeah, I'll report back on that. And then in addition, because this is like 150 pages or so, and it's it's a small book, I'm going to read Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. This is the manga edition, and it's like the full text is in here, which is really cool because I want to read the books for Shaptember, and this is the first pick, and I just happened to get this. I never know, it's manga, whatever you call it. This like graphic, book, and this it had to be Romeo and Juliet, and it fits perfectly with the prompt. So yeah, off to do some reading. So it's now 9 o'clock, and I have finished reading for the night. I read S.E. Hinton's That Was Then, This Is Now. And along with this, I watched the movie The Outsiders, finally, with a bunch of famous people were in that movie from 1983, and it followed, like, I feel like it followed the dialogue of The Outsiders exactly. Everything that was spoken in the book, I feel like, was in the movie, and it was pretty good. And so I read the sequel, loosely based sequel. It's set in the same town, and it's following two kind of brothers. You have Brian. I want to say Byron because he mentioned several times in the book how he gets mixed up with Byron, the poet. And then you have Mark, which is his kind of like adopted brother because he doesn't have a family. And these two are very different, but they are really close together and like inseparable. But then when he's kind of a ladies' man, but when he meets, I forgot what her name is. Does it say here on the book what her name is? I can't remember her name, but when he meets the lady friend, because I read this like a couple hours ago. Then I watched the Outsider movie, and then of course names go right outside my head, even though I finished this book just a couple hours ago. But anyway, he meets whatever her name is, the girlfriend, and so starts spending more time with Kathy. That was her name, Kathy, and she has a very different outlook on life. Mark doesn't have any problems with stealing and just doesn't follow rules, doesn't see a need for rules, kind of makes them up on himself. It doesn't have much of a conscience, I guess, whereas she very much does. And so he's kind of like the middle guy. So he's kind of like in the tug of war between the two, and like who is he gonna be in the future? Is he gonna let either one of them sway his future, kind of deal? But yeah, it was okay, just not as good as The Outsiders. And I also finally finished this big book, The Complete Cartoons of the New Yorker, and it's from, what was it, like the very beginning to 2004. So I thought I was just show you one quick page of what it's like. I know I've showed this before, but just in case you haven't seen one of the videos where I have. So this one says January 3rd at Rockefeller Center, and you have a Christmas tree in a little trash can here. So yeah, these were super funny. There was a mix of all sorts of things, like holiday related. There's like, therapy sessions. There's little comics on animals and holidays. Sorry for the lighting. And there's like, actually, as the time went on, more and more internet, electronic based comics were included. And then you have this one, Arget Having Eaten My Young. And this is so each of the corner here, it always tells you the year. So this is 1994. But yeah, this was a really fun read, and I am not too familiar. I don't subscribe to the New Yorker, so I'm not that familiar. I mean, I am, but I don't know any of the I wouldn't know any of the artists or anything like that. But this gives you like so many people, and it also includes. I have one of the two CDs in this. I got this used, but I don't know how I'm gonna I don't know how I would, use the CD, but I'm sure I can just Google or something just to see more. But yeah, this was so much fun. So now I'm going to spend the rest of my night probably watching some BookTube. Talk to you later.